Now we're going to talk about calibration. Calibration is very simple, but very important part of your Scratch Live experience. Anytime you go to a new environment or move your gear, take it to a new space, it's really important that you do this to get the most out of your system. The first thing you do when you calibrate is you go to your screen, you go to Setup, and two scopes will appear. They represent everything that the needle can hear. So to start calibrating, start the record with the needle on, and you should have a clean green circle on the scope. If not, you can use these knobs to adjust it until it is. If you're having problems getting nice clean green circles, it's probably a good idea to check all your connections. Check your earth wires, check the connections to the turntables, check the head shell, make sure all the connections there might be working. You can clean your needles, clean the surface of the vinyl. Failing that, it might be a good time to go get some new needles. There's only a few things that can go wrong when you're trying to calibrate your system. If you're really stuck, you can go to scratchlive.net and you can find pictures of scope views and corresponding fixes that'll help you sort out your problem. Real fast in a hurry, don't worry. No matter where you set up your turntables, you're always going to get a little bit of hum through them. Threshold is there to get you through that. If you turn it all the way to the left, it's going to be really sensitive. It's going to pick up everything, every little bump. If you turn it all the way to the right, it's going to be a lot less sensitive, and it's going to get you through those sort of tough times when your turntables are just crapping out. Okay, there's a few ways of sorting out the threshold. The first is with the needle on the record and the record stop. Come over here and you click the estimate button. I'm going to show you another way now. By setting the threshold all the way to the left, you're going to hear all the hum and nastiness that's coming through the needle. This number in the top right hand corner is changing. It thinks the record is moving. So what I'm going to do now is move the threshold a little bit to the right until those numbers start moving. And once they've stopped moving, just move it a little bit more for good measure. If you set the threshold about halfway, that's pretty much normal. Latency is very important to a system like Scratch Live. Latency is the delay between you moving the record and the sound coming out. Scratch Live has got the lowest latency of any vinyl simulation system on the market. There's no noticeable delay. Scratch Live's performance is related to the speed of your computer. If you've got a slow computer, you can adjust the latency to compensate for that. The USB buffer slider in the setup screen will help you to adjust the performance of Scratch Live to match your computer speed. Move the slider to the left for low latency, tight record control, but more demand on your computer. Move the slider to the right, not as tight, but easier on the computer. If it's too low and your computer can't handle it, you'll hear dropouts or audio glitches. Move it to the right a bit, and it should be sweet as. Because the control records are real vinyl, they will wear out over time. For most people, maybe 6 months, but really it depends on how hard you use them. If you need replacements, you can go to scratchlive.net and find out where to get them. Often, it's the beginning of the record that wears out first because that's the point you cue to. They call this a cue burn. You can get extra mileage out of your control records by using the offset start point feature. You go to the setup screen and you adjust this knob. This will effectively move the beginning of the record so you can use a nice fresh part of the vinyl. Let's look at how the cables are connected. Plug your turntables in here. Left turntable, right turntable. The line outs from the scratch box go to the line ins on your mixer. And that's the output of Scratch Live. You connect the USB to your computer, the Scratch Live box powers up off the USB cable, and you're ready to go. You can also connect the throughs to your phono ends to play normal vinyl. So to switch between Scratch Live and normal vinyl, just change your mixer's input from line to phono.